Hi folks, how are you? It's your humble gardener Michael here. Now, right in front of me, I have about 6 main Ladyfinger banana plants. Now these were planted a little over 3.5 years ago. Now the important thing to remember is these were a gift from my grandfather, who passed away passed away about maybe 4 years ago. I don't know the exact date. Don't persecute me if I'm wrong. But anyways, I'm just going to show you. And I felt like making a bit of a video today for it. Now these are my beautiful Ladyfinger banana plants. Absolutely wonderful. I've just watered them and given them just given them a good hit of fertilizer. Now that one there is probably my oldest bunch of bananas there, Ladyfinger bananas, and they've probably been there for roughly 5 months or so. They came on in the autumn and we're just about to reach spring. It's August now. I believe it's the 20th of August today, 2020. And as you can see, I have a lot more of them. Now excuse the step ladder, I was over there cutting one of the flowers off because it had finished flowering and it had produced the fruit that it needed to do. Now one of the main key things and important things to remember about cutting the flowers to these is once they finish the fruiting, they will continue to flower. Now that's a nice thing because it gives the local birds and other animals and insects sweet nectar and juices and so forth to feast on, which isn't a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing, taking care of the environment. They're probably the nicest clump because the clump that I just showed you beforehand, well, for a period of time all of these plants got neglected because I wasn't in such a good place mentally, because mental health does run through the family, unfortunately. But you don't have to dwell on it. Mental illness is something that needs to be more recognised in the outer community, and we do need more help and resources dedicated to helping more people that have mental health issues, because the more help we get, the better things become, the better we feel, and the more proactive and more productive we are in the community, instead of just hiding away and being hermits. Well, that's essentially what I wanted to do for quite a long time, actually, is just hide away in my room, watch YouTube videos, and basically do nothing, because I had no energy, no motivation, and just no will to really do anything. I still had the will to live, but I knew there was something wrong. But gradually, with help and whatnot, you can eventually get over that. It takes a long time though. But as you can see, these leaves are absolutely beautiful and green. Just lovely. Got another one over here. It hasn't fruited yet. This one was actually the first to fruit. Probably a year or so ago now. And the rest of them hadn't fruited. But I guess it just wasn't their time. They weren't getting enough water and they weren't getting enough nutrients. Because Ladyfinger bananas, they do require quite a bit of water each day. And they are quite hungry, so you do need to keep the fertilizer up to them. Quick release is probably the best fertilizer, mixed in with long release fertilizer to sustain them all year round, so you get a really good harvest. But I just can't get over how beautiful these are. They're trapping carbon, well, they're absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and essentially scrubbing that and putting it into the root system, into the ground, and releasing oxygen for us to breathe. And oxygen is very important for all living things, no matter how small. And every living thing is precious, in my opinion. Well, it shouldn't be an opinion, it should be a thought pattern that we should all share, that every life is precious. Everything is precious, everything serves a purpose. You might not know your purpose, we might not know the purpose of everything else, but that's not really your responsibility. Our responsibility should be to help each other. You know, if one of us is falling on hard times, we should show support and not to be so negative and cruel and say, well, you got yourself there, you can get yourself out of there, essentially, that kind of mentality. It shouldn't be like that, honestly. It really shouldn't. It breaks my heart thinking that some people are actually like that. You know, have that lone wolf kind of attitude. I mean, you don't have to, I guess, follow what everyone else is doing to a complete T, but that's just not healthy. You've got to be creative as well. You've also got to have that creative energy and your own independent thoughts. And I guess that's sort of why, well, I don't like talking about religion or anything like that, because I am not religious whatsoever. I have my views, but they're not religious whatsoever. And if you don't like the fact that I'm not religious, well, I couldn't care less. Because all I care about is helping the people that I love and care about. Now, being someone that has ADHD like myself, I tend to go on a bit of a rant, essentially, on a lot of things. So I started the topic of my beautiful bananas and how nice they look, and you can see that I've got a couple of good healthy clumps, or groups of bananas, or whatever you call them, I don't really know. They're just lovely. You can see how green and plump they are. They're nowhere near ready to be picked yet, in my opinion. I think they could be a little bit bigger. And this one being the banana that I had most trouble with, because this particular area of our yard doesn't get a lot of sunlight. It struggles a bit, but it has come through, because I don't give up on things. Especially this, I didn't give up on it. I recently cut the flower off because it had finished flowering, and it's producing fruit. And that's all because I didn't give up on it. I mean, there is a point where you've got to draw the line on how much more help and energy that you're willing to spend on something. And forgive me for my camera work. Talking and trying to film at the same time isn't exactly my strong suit. But anyways, everyone has their own thing that they're good at, and me, I guess I'm good at procrastinating, talking too much, but most importantly showing others care and compassion, and trying to help in any way possible. Emotionally, help them around the house, well, you get the idea. But yeah, I just want to show you guys this as a different take on my usual shenanigans of, you know, solar powered Christmas lights, which I probably will need to go and replace some of them because they are showing their age. These things don't last forever, unfortunately. And my Land Rover, I will be doing more videos on that soon. It's just I'm in a bit of a grind with that because it does have a bit of a leak, unfortunately. But that leak is fixable. It's just having the funds really to sort it out. I've got a feeling it's leaking from the transfer case. Not leaking from the diffs, because there's no oil around the diffs, and if they were leaking around the diffs, I'd be quite concerned. But yeah, the main focus of this video was just to show you guys my lovely Ladyfinger Bananas, and I felt as though it was something I really wanted to share because these things are absolutely beautiful. Lush, green, full of life, energy. You know, I feel really good when I'm out here with the bananas. You know, I can spend up to an hour or so watering them each day, and I just love watching them grow, watching them prosper in the soil, which has recently been given a healthy dosing of compost. Now, compost is really nutrient rich. It's a good soil base, and I haven't quite gotten around to doing this one yet, but all these other ones here have got compost on them. That black soil stuff around there. Now what I'm doing is watering that in, and the water will carry it down to the roots, which will provide nutrients to the soil and to the plant itself, and well, promote healthy, prosperous growth, which is essentially what I'm looking for. Because I am a green thumb. I do love being out in the garden. It's just that with my skin, unfortunately, my skin is highly susceptible to melanoma sun cancer. I've already had one cut out of me, and that's kind of made me shrink back down in the darkness out of fear of getting another cancer, because they said that I've got a 50-50 chance, 50-50 chance that I'll have to have another one cut out of me, or I'll have another one develop in my body somewhere, which I really don't. It is concerning. It is on the back of my mind. At the same time too, I'm not going to let it stop me from coming out here and, you know, essentially doing what I enjoy. And that's, you know, being out in the garden, being outside, breathing the fresh air. I mean, it's not a good thing to be stuck inside all the time, because it just doesn't do your mental health any good. It's hard as it is to get outside sometimes and just, you know, slow down and really appreciate what you have around you, like the roof over your head, the clothes on your body, and the food that you have to eat. It does take a bit of time to slow down and just say, hey, I'm doing fine. It doesn't matter that I don't have all the money in the world. It doesn't matter that I don't have all the things I want in the world. The most important thing to have is a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food to eat, family and friends around you. I mean, having family and friends is probably the most important thing. If you've got family and friends, then you're already rich. Because there's a lot of people out there that focus solely on having money, you know, just wealth. And that makes you sick in the head, in my opinion. Having too much money makes you greedy. You don't, like, you've gone through all that hard work and sacrificed all that time to make all that money, when it really is, it's just numbers. A digital currency that can be wiped at any second in the bank. It just takes one asshole to come out and say, well, you're rich, I'm going to take all your bloody money and I am going to spend it on other things. I'm going to make it so you can't track me down. Unfortunately, there are people out there in that world, well, in this world, that unfortunately do that. So, you know, it's not a good idea to become solely dependent on how much money you have and how much wealth. You really got to think of all the small things that you have that make the big picture. Oh yeah, I want to show you my compost bins just quickly. I've got 1, 2, 3 compost bins. That one being the oldest, the first one we got, and then, you know, they kept on coming in. Well, we bought more because we've got a lot of birds in the home, or we've got a lot of birds and pets and so forth that, you know, produce waste, and that, instead of throwing it out in the bin, let it decompose so that all the microbes can, you know, eat it down into a product that can be used in the garden to, you know, grow these beautiful Ladyfinger banana plants. And no, these are not Cavendish. Cavendish, you have to have a special license because they're a commercial product. Ladyfinger bananas you can get away with, and, you know, they don't produce these huge clumps of fruit, but they are just, they're just lush and beautiful. And Ladyfinger bananas, we thought that at first that we wouldn't be able to grow them down here because they are more a tropical fruit, but I guess I've proven that, you know, being down in Brisbane, where you're close to the granite belt, and it gets cooler, and you know, sometimes I just don't get that much rain. Well, up north at the moment they're not getting that much rain at all, so they're struggling too. But it just shows you that if you try and look after things and, you know, prompt it to grow, then it will most likely grow. You just got to have a go. That's my favourite quote for the day. You've just got to have a go. That's all it takes. If you have a go and you don't succeed, well, at least you haven't failed. You've had a go. You know, you've put your best foot forward, you've given it your best shot, and, you know, you might have not everything that you might not succeed at is a complete failure, because as long as you've taken something away from that, like learnt a valuable lesson to take with you in the future, you haven't lost anything, have you? You haven't. you've taken something away. You've learned something. We always learn. Every day we learn something new. Even though we might not realise it, we are always learning. You never stop learning. If you stop learning, then you don't move forward. You don't create progress. I mean, we make mistakes for a reason. You know, you're not born perfect. Geez, if we were all born perfect, we'd all be rich millionaires with, you know, lots of things. And probably all be bored and depressed because we got everything we want. We don't have any, and there's nothing else to challenge us that we, you know, get that inspiration to try and conquer. But anyways, that's enough of my rambling ons. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be shooting more videos of the Land Rover fairly soon. It's just time and money, I guess. Well, I've got plenty of time because, you know, the way things are at the moment, jobs are scarce, and well, yeah, Mike, yeah. I'm going to stop rambling on. But yeah, I hope you have a fantastic day, and if it's your birthday, happy birthday. I hope you're having a great one, and you're celebrating with family and friends, or, you know, you're doing something special for you. But anyways, I'll catch you later.